Welcome on into the podcast. I'm Brett,
I'm Dorian.
and we got some nerd news for you.
Some is an understatement.
It is
A tidal wave.
a tsunami rather.
So basically, what we're going to be talking. If you have any interest in Marvel or Star Wars, you need to stay tuned.
Yeah,
We're also going to be talking about the latest Smash Bros. Character, Cobra Kai Season 3. Got a trailer this week. Mandalorian Chapter 15. But first things first, a little bit of housekeeping. We had a piece of news that broke late last week that we didn't get to. Oscar Isaac is Solid Snake.
yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so I can see him like being Solid Snake, and at the same time, I can't.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that it doesn't make much sense, and that's pretty vague. But I mean,
I just don't see this character coming to live action for some reason. I don't know why. Like, obviously, some of the games are pretty, realistic, but I'm just like, realistic being it's a person, like it's an actual person.
Sure, yeah,
but yeah, it's still going to be kind of sci-fi, spy,
right?
futuristic,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It might just be just the fact that I just have Poe Dameron so ingrained into my head whenever I think of Oscar Isaac.
True,
but,
yeah.
Man, he is like going for like all the nerd roles here. Apocalypse.
Yeah, Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight. Obviously, Star Wars. Dune. So, and then this is like, the next thing. So, but I mean, so I think for me, he's got to nail the voice. If he doesn't nail the voice, it's not going to work. But
agreed.
But time will tell. So,
before we go further, you guys make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast. Leave a review and a comment. Drop it down below. It helps us out a great deal. Kind of how we have this set up, because there's so much, is we kind of organized it per media group, I guess. But pretty much just Disney,
more or less.
But yeah, so we got Marvel, and then we're gonna talk about Star Wars, and then a little bit about Disney, and then
all the
other stuff. Yeah. So Marvel's up first, and we got a bunch of Spider-Man 3 news.
Yeah, the new one, not the old one, the one that's probably going to be good, not the one that's already bad. So
right, yeah. So and it's confirming what we theorized months ago with the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
First we got Electro, right? He's coming to the MCU.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx. Yep.
From Amazing Spider-Man. Now we got Alfred Molina, aka Doc Ock, Dr. Octopus. He's going to be coming and reprising his role from Spider-Man 2. And that's Spider-Man 2, not the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Tobey Maguire 2.
Yeah. OG Spider-Man 2.
And speaking of Tobey Maguire, he's been seen on set.
Yeah. I mean, well, you and I have talked about how like that one photo that Jamie Foxx tweeted when he was talking about joining this movie as Electro, how there were like 3 Spider-Man. It's like, that's interesting, because we've had 3 live action movie Spider-Man. I wonder if there could be a connection.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And also Kristen Dunst is rumored, if not already confirmed, to appear as Mary Jane Watson. Mm-hmm. And our boy, Charlie Cox, is also known as Daredevil.
Yeah, is rumored to be coming back. Also, real quick, I don't think it's in the show notes, but Kevin Feige was talking about the She-Hulk series on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that we will see other famous Marvel lawyers in that show, because She-Hulk is a lawyer. So
we're gonna get Matt Murdock.
I mean, I can't really think of too many other famous Marvel lawyers. Can you? I mean, so. Yeah,
interesting.
Can we get Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin and all of his cheese and glory here?
That's all we're missing. And we're also missing. If Andrew Garfield's not in the movie for whatever reason, I think he's going to be.
I think
you've got someone from every Spider-Man franchise. You got Molina, you got Toby, you got Kristen Dunst. So,
I mean, what I imagine, like when they were like coming up with the idea of this movie, they were looking at Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and said, oh, those are kids movies. What a safe, easy Spider-Man movie to make. Let's go big here, okay, everyone? Let's just like blow it all out here. Let's get everybody back, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, at this rate, this is most definitely going to be the most ambitious Spider-Man movie made, for sure.
Yeah, it'll be a live action Spider-Verse movie. And it's going to tie perfectly into where we're going in a little bit, but I kind of agree with you. I just hope that it doesn't get convoluted along the way with all these villains popping up.
Yeah.
All these Spider-Man. Remember the other Spider-Man 3? It had a lot of villains, and it was not good.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's definitely something that it's kind of an odd jump to go from like what has been like, relatively safe movies to make with Homecoming and Far From Home.
Yeah.
Now you're just like blowing it out into like this big expansive multiverse here, and like
right,
increasing the size, scale, and scope of all of it. But I mean, I think for me, I think the main thing they got to do is they got to make this movie different enough from Into the Spider-Verse here, just because I mean, Into the Spider-Verse nailed it. It was at this point in time, I still think it's the best Spider-Man movie released.
So do I. Yeah.
So I mean, that being said, it's like, okay, I don't want just a carbon copy of that in live action. You have to make it different enough and actually do some different stuff with it in order to make it to like have its own identity and still like justify doing the Spider-Verse story.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see, with all these Spider-Man coming to fruition, will we get a cameo of Miles Morales? Will he come to the MCU?
I mean, technically
he has to.
Well,
he already exists.
He already exists. Donald Glover plays his uncle, I believe.
Prowler.
Prowler. Yeah,
which that'd be cool to see more of him too. Honestly,
I mean, yeah, that would be pretty cool. I mean, but yeah, I just think with this movie, I mean, you're definitely gonna see probably Miles in there somewhere or something like that. But I think with this movie, they're juggling so much with this movie. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be very ambitious, and it'd be just for it not to collapse on itself under its own weight would be a miracle unto itself here. But
totally.
I mean, so far, this is the studio that has done some of the most ambitious movies ever made, and still managed to pull it off. So, I'll hold, so to speak.
Yep. Next time we got some Hawkeye news. Last week reported, who's going to be playing Kate Bishop, and this week her costume was revealed.
Yeah.
It looks fine. I just hope the show's good.
I mean, I don't know. It's like, not much like really to like talk about like with this, but
it looks more superhero like than some of Hawkeye's outfits,
right? Well, yeah, because they've definitely, compared to the comics, they've definitely made some more modern / kind of more realistic changes to his costume.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing that I'm kind of surprised with is like how quickly they just started shooting this here. It seems like because
no kidding.
Because because I've known TV shows and movies that will announce their casting like months or years in advance before they actually start filming here.
Right now, it's all hush hush, and then they're already filming. They're already ready to go.
Especially considering how we've had like nothing but radio silence on this show for a while. We didn't even know it was going to be still happening at this point. But yeah, so it's real. Seeing how they're shooting right now, I'm guessing probably like maybe fall or winter of 2021.
Yeah, I see that as a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
With not like we're spoiling anything, but with the slate coming up when we talk about Star Wars, I'm guessing it's going to be more of a fall show because our winter is going to be so heavy with new Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Jeremy Renner was in the picture too that we see with Kate Bishop, so he's obviously going to be a part of this. So, but yeah, next up we got a new WandaVision trailer, which for me, I'm more interested now.
So what about the trailer makes you more interested?
I think it was like the horror vibes that were coming out, like
or just like the eerie, like
yeah,
kind of creepy stuff or
yeah.
whatever.
It was so you guys should go check it out, but basically it was like the Brady Bunch at the beginning of the trailer, and or Leave It to Beaver, whatever you want to call it, and then it talking about she basically creates like the perfect family with her and Vision, and then she brings people into her illusions. Basically, it's not just all in her head; she's actually physically bringing people into these, and then you see flashes of like help me, like what's going on type of thing. And so it's got like this almost like this horror element, which I was very interested in. Now I don't see this as one of my number one shows I'm looking forward to, but at least it piqued my interest. Yeah.
More,
And it's also confirmed that that Doctor Strange is going to tie into this as well as Spider-Man 3.
Right, which I mean we knew that
because I think she's shooting that right now. She's shooting Doctor Strange 2 right now.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen. So
yeah, so I mean, I think for me, I mean, I don't feel like this show or this trailer really revealed a whole lot of like groundbreaking stuff about this show, because I mean, even like the first trailer, you had that eerie undertone to it, and you had you were presented with the idea that in this uh perfect idea of Wanda's reality, that there was something like wrong underneath the surface here. And so I think this trailer just kind of expanded a little bit more on that. But I mean, I think obviously like all the other stuff that's kind of going on underneath the surface, that's going to be the stuff that's going to interest me the most about this show. But I think if the sitcom side of this is going to be good, it has to lean into it being meta. And I think it also has to give us like a really concrete glimpse into what phase 4 of Marvel is going to look like, because we still don't have like a 100% idea of like where the main storyline or the overarching storyline is going to be taking us.
No, I mean essentially it's new, it's fresh, they're bringing in all these new characters for a reason, and so it'll be interesting to see how this plays into that. I'm kind of looking forward to this show, but like I said, it's not like one of my top ones, especially with how many shows Disney's at the shareholder meeting they said was coming. I was like, oh my gosh, there could be there's going to be like 3 shows a month, it seems like. So speaking of another show, Loki's coming May 2021.
Yeah, which I mean, we haven't heard anything about this one in a while.
We got a full trailer.
We got a full trailer. I mean, granted, the trailer, in terms of like, what the main plot for like the
overall, no, it didn't give you anything.
Doesn't really give you much. I mean, it does give you the setup of like what this show is, which I mean, we already
saw that in Endgame.
Yeah, pretty much we all kind of guessed it. Basically, Loki, when they're going back and getting the Tesseract in 2012, or at least try to, Loki takes it and teleports away. And that basically we're now seeing this alternate timeline with Loki. So it'll be interesting. This is almost like a soft what if, but only in live action.
It's true.
So
I like this. Also, there was like this weird scene, and people are specking on it really hard. They're speculating that he might somehow resurrect Black Widow.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean,
I don't know how that would fit in, but anyway, I liked the trailer. I thought it was fun. It'll be interesting to see how much more maybe stuff of Asgard or other realities he visits kind of tie in. I loved Owen Wilson's character in it. He was just in the elevator with him. He looked like he worked for some organization. I can't remember what they said, but basically an organization that stops people from maybe going from universe to universe, or
the TVA or whatever.
Yeah.
I think from what I understand from and what I've been seeing is the TVA is essentially like a police force that cracks down on people who mess with time or
Right.
like or stuff like that. So which is like, okay, so you guys coming after the Avengers next? What's going on there here?
Right.
Because
Yeah, they changed everything.
yeah,
No, yeah, it looks good. I think this is on my radar. I'm glad it's coming in May. I'm actually really glad. There's some foreshadowing here of other things to come, but I'm really happy they're not bumping stuff back. At least right now, it seems like
yeah.
the 2021 is looking good when it comes to new content. So I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, like if they do stick with the states, I mean, I won't have a reason
To give up
cancel my
Disney Plus, yeah,
to give up my Disney Plus subscription anytime soon here. So
right. Next up, Falcon Winter Soldier. I mean, this
yeah,
is kind of your bread and butter. I feel like mine too. I'm a huge Winter Soldier fan.
yeah, no, I mean, like Winter Soldier, one of the best MCU movies. Civil War, definitely up there as well.
Yeah,
Um, and this. I mean, I think just the characters that are in here are some of our favorite characters from the MCU and
totally.
the ones that we're most vested in.
Yeah, it's coming to
Yeah, I mean,
March.
yeah, I mean, honestly, this is like the thing I've been looking forward to the most in Phase 4 that was announced so far. But yeah, no, I mean, trailer looks dope. I mean, it doesn't seem like Falcon's really going to be using his shield much in this season,
No,
at least from what the footage. Oh, excuse me. At least in terms of like what the footage is showing.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, um, I mean, it has me on board, but you have a couple opinions on this trailer here, right?
yeah. So I kind of rewatched the trailer a couple times. I don't know why, but I was
Mhm.
kind of underwhelmed by this trailer. It didn't give me. I don't know if it was like the way that it was built. I don't really know. It had some cool scenes, but looked a little cheesy in parts, especially when like Falcon was flying around and doing his thing. I was kind of just like, oh, I hope this isn't the quality. I hope it's still, movie quality level stuff that we're gonna see. I don't think
Sure.
it's gonna be. Maybe it's not fully done. Like this is just like, I mean, I think it has to. We're in December now. It's only 3 months away, but
I mean, they could
um,
still be doing like some touch ups on in like the editing room for like
sure.
special effects and whatnot.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten like a big villain reveal. We've gotten like we know there's gonna be some terrorist groups. There's the girl
Yeah.
with the mask. I can't remember. It was like I think her name was like Flagship something. I can't remember what they call her.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I mean, you do know who the villain is in this show, right?
yeah, it's Zemo.
Yeah, it's Zemo.
But
Yeah.
he's not gonna be like a physical villain for them to fight. He's gonna be someone
Right.
who's pulling strings. So what I'm saying is like where's the physical.
Where's the actual boss fight here?
Yeah, exactly. So
Fair enough.
yeah, we know that much, but I'm kind of looking to, okay, what are the other bad guys they're gonna bring in for the weekly, the weekly fight or whatever it's
Well,
gonna be.
I wonder if they're gonna tap into like that whole that one like subplot in Civil War when they were making more Winter Soldiers and all that.
Oh yeah, actually, they revealed the whole cast, and I think his name was like U.S. Soldier. I don't remember, but I think that actually might be something that they will be doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be interesting. And then I'll also, um, I think they're going to be dealing with. I don't know if it's Russia or who, but I think what was more interesting, and this is kind of a side note, we got zero word on any Black Widow stuff from this
Oh
whole press
yeah.
conference. So
I
I'm
mean,
still really hoping it comes out in like January or February before all this new stuff comes out, because then it's going to be competing with all this, not competing, but it's going to get overshadowed, I think, by these new shows and stuff. So anyway, that's a side tangent, but I think they need to release
yeah.
that ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's well, and I had a theory of like one of the reasons why Falcon and Winter Soldier got delayed was just because there might have been some stuff in Black Widow or
That's what
characters
I
that
was
get
thinking. Yeah.
introduced in Black Widow that would tie into this, but apparently they're either they did like some reshoots, re-edits, or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah, or
how?
isn't someone from Black Widow going to be in Hawkeye?
Yeah, the sister.
So we got to think by, when that comes out, we
Yeah,
have to have some answers from Black Widow, and I hope we do.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, we probably will. I would think so.
But yeah, overall for Falcon Winter Soldier, I'm still excited. The trailer was a little underwhelming for me, but it's coming in March. We now know that, and so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and so so I mean, so we'll have Mando will be finishing up next week.
Yeah.
And then in January we'll have WandaVision, which I think will last us like maybe about 6 to 8 weeks or so, somewhere around there.
It'll button up right to March. And so that's when we're getting Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm guessing we'll go from March to May. May is when we're getting Loki, and then Loki's gonna literally it's gonna be one thing after the other.
Right. And so I wonder if they got something possibly lined up for March here per se. Maybe
that's Falcon Winter Soldier.
Or sorry, I mean summer here. So
I don't know, because a lot of places take a break for summer, so I'm guessing that might be when the what if stuff comes.
Yeah,
and we're gonna talk about that next, but I can see that as something that that'll be like a fun thing throughout summer, and then we'll get another big player in the fall.
Yeah, something. I mean,
which will probably be Hawkeye
or Mando season 2 here. I mean, in terms of just Disney Plus. Well, just Disney Plus content. Yeah,
season 3. No, I think it's going to be more later. It'll be probably more like November, as I think is when we're going to get, just based on some of the Star Wars news we have later.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it could be. It very well could be. So let's talk about that Marvel What If trailer. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about it. I mean, we already knew like the details of like what this was going to be. Essentially, this is going to be a what if scenario for characters and events in the MCU. So like, what if Peggy Carter became
Captain
America or Captain Britain here, or however, or
whatever.
Captain
Britain, I guess.
Yeah. Or like, what if Steve Rogers was a zombie and Bucky had to like fight him, or Doctor Strange had like an evil twin in there, I think, or something like that.
I don't remember all of it.
Or what if Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy didn't pick up Peter Quill, but he picked up like a kid from like Wakanda or something like that, I think is what it was. I don't know if that was supposed to be Black Panther or something, but
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'll watch it.
Yeah, no, I'll watch it too. I mean, the animation style looks cool. It looks unique. But more than anything, I want a Star Wars version of this. I want to get all those like abandoned storylines. I want Colin Trevorrow's, Duel of the Fates script to be getting this treatment. I want George Lucas's original idea for the sequel was with like Darth Maul as the villain to be getting this treatment. I mean, I think that would just be super dope.
Yeah, I agree. Like I've said in the past, I wouldn't mind it to be even live action.
Yeah.
With Mace Windu being the top one in my opinion to do. What if he survived?
Yeah.
How would that look? And because I know Samuel L. Jackson wants to come back and play him, so that's an easy sell.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, let's talk about some new announcements from Marvel, one of them being Armor Wars, which I was totally thrown off by this one.
Yeah, no, I had no idea that this was going to be coming or anything like that. But
so this is going to be about War Machine, starring Don Cheadle as the main guy, and so basically, the way they phrased it, I was like, wait, so is this a what if or is this an actual canon thing?
I'm pretty sure this is a canon thing here.
So basically, we'll be exploring what would happen if all the tech of Tony Stark falls in the wrong hands.
Right, which I mean, essentially, that's been like the theme of like the first like 2 Iron Man movies. I mean, definitely the first one, but yeah. So it's kind of exploring like essentially the original premise of Iron Man that kind of got away from like after it became like a bigger, broader universe here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no, it's good to see that they're not abandoning like the people who are still left alive from, the Infinity Saga or like the Phase 1 characters after Endgame. So, it'll be interesting. I mean, you give me some good robot suit action, I'm in.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit of old, a little bit of new, meaning, we got Don Cheadle. We'll probably get some other people from that universe, the Iron Man movies. And then maybe introducing someone like Ironheart, because we got some news on her later too. But she's
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, seeing how the Mandarin is going to be the villain of Shang-Chi, we could,
could float over.
Get that, get some crossover there. Seeing how he technically is supposed to be an Iron Man villain in the first place, but
yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I'll be excited for this movie, this not movie, but series on Disney Plus as well. The news just keeps rolling, and we're not even close to being done, folks. So stay tuned, strap in. Next up, Secret Invasion.
Sick. So
I love this storyline.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with it. I mean, I know the basic premise of it, but basically, like that end credit scenes from Spider-Man: Far From Home. This is essentially what this was alluding to. Essentially, like Nick Fury working with like the good Skrulls and going against the bad Skrulls that are.
So we might get even some Super Skrull action, which will be pretty sick.
Yep, and not to mention with Fantastic Four.
Yep, that's gonna be a tie-in as well.
Getting a logo. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I can see them being introduced in this. Even maybe I don't know. I don't know actually, because did they say that Fantastic Four is going to be a reboot? Like it's going to be a complete from scratch, or they already established? I can't remember.
I don't. I think they would have to like do something from scratch, because then how do you explain like where were you guys like
during everything?
Everything, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to pick up after Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will kind of button up well with the Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel 2, and potential future of Fantastic Four. I think it's gonna be another one of those shows that kind of springboards a lot more stuff. I can see that happening.
Or at least like bleeds over into each other. Like there'll be things that happen in this show that will impact the movie, and likewise the movie will impact the show, because Kevin Feige did say that this is not going to be like a Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type thing where if you don't watch it or watch the show, you're still gonna know what's going on movie wise. Here, it's more the movies impacted the show and not the other way around. But he said with this Disney Plus stuff, this is going to be like required reading essentially.
Right? Yeah, it's not something you just gloss over.
Right,
for sure.
And so I mean, so my guess is this is going to like set up stuff for Captain Marvel 2, which is a shame because I won't see it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Captain Marvel myself. And so, which leads us into our next thing, talking about Ironheart. We talked about Armor Wars, Secret Invasion. Ironheart has been announced for Disney Plus, and they have some casting.
Right. It's Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams. And for those of you who don't know, or those of you who might not know off the top of your head, a couple years ago, they had Iron Man be essentially replaced, or at least like the role of Iron Man was taken up by, is she a teenager?
Yeah.
So basically, this black teenager basically takes up the role of Iron Man, and she makes her own suit that essentially is like the most advanced thing since Iron Man's suit, and basically calls herself Ironheart and just fights bad guys. That's pretty much the basics of what I know here.
Yeah. And so this is definitely going to be springboarded probably from Armor Wars or bleed into it in some way.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got some Thor: Love and Thunder reveals.
Yeah.
It has been highly speculated for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were pretty much right. I mean, the people were right. Christian Bale will be playing Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah.
So do you want to explain to the people a little bit about Gore? Because he's probably not a super well-known person for, the masses, basically.
Sure. Yeah, and even for someone like me who actually knows a decent amount of like comic books, I had no idea who this guy was, so I had to do a little bit of homework on my end. But basically, from what I understand, he's like a god serial killer for just gods in general. So, and how he started off, he was just an ordinary guy till his family got taken away from him, and he, his prayers to the gods went unanswered. So he basically vowed that he was gonna take revenge on all the gods because they did not answer his prayers when in his time of need. So how he does that is he finds this weapon called All Black, or the Necro Sword, which basically is like gives the user like flight, speed, strength, durability. So basically the stuff that you need to compete with, like an Avenger for the most part. And it'll cut through just about anything, and it can spawn minions essentially. So
it's pretty sick.
So and and then another thing that came up is Lady Civ will return.
Yep, she's back for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, which I thought was really weird when she was absent from Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm wondering what'll happen.
Well, yeah, because the Warriors 3 were in Ragnarok, but she was not in there. So
right.
I was kind of surprised by that. But yeah, I mean, so seeing how Christian Bale is going to be wielding a sword called the All Black, it is going to be a missed opportunity if they don't work in the classic line, does it come in black in some way, shape, or form? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, it pretty much writes itself for the most part.
Yep, totally.
But no, I mean, I'm very interested to see what he does with it. I mean, Marvel doesn't have the best track record when it comes to villains, like with the exception of, Loki, Thanos, and I'll even throw in Ultron in there. I thought I like James Spader as Ultron, but I mean, yeah, by and large, their villains are pretty forgettable and just don't really get like a decent amount of development or screen time. So we'll see if this is really anything to be excited about.
For sure. Yeah, that wraps up our Marvel part. Now we're going to head into our Star Wars crazy news that we got.
Mm-hmm.
And so first up, being probably my favorite news.
Yeah.
We're getting that Ahsoka Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, we
yeah, you have to.
You
have to assume.
Which was rumored to happen for, I think, pretty much the moment we knew that Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario
Dawson was playing Ahsoka Tano, but
it couldn't just be for an episode. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like kind of a waste here. So yeah, but
so yeah, we got a logo, which is pretty cool. I like it. Kind of reminds me of the Ahsoka book kind of logo a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to take place during the time of the Mandalorian. So we're basically getting it picking up right after probably the Mandalorian, probably season 3, I'm guessing at this point, because I don't think it started a development, but who knows with how they work things. They could start filming anytime now. I think they're actually shooting Mandalorian season 3 right now. So I'm guessing this is going to be after.
Possibly, or the same time here.
Actually, yeah, because I forgot. Yeah, you're right. Because we in some news later, we talk about that a little bit. So probably gonna get this next winter, is what I'm guessing.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be a springboard. Obviously, from her huge name drop in Mandalorian, aka Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see the potential it brings. It's gonna bring in more Rebel characters. Like Thrawn. Right. And Thrawn and Ezra right now are hand in hand, in my opinion. Like with the end of Rebels and stuff like that, you can't have one without the other. Yeah, like at least in my opinion, or they're gonna know where each other are at. So I really do think if Ezra isn't the one to come after Grogu to train him, he's gonna show up in the Ahsoka series.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, no, I definitely agree. This is how we probably get Thrawn. I think that kind of does answer that question that we've kind of had like ever since Thrawn got name dropped a couple episodes back. We were kind of wondering, okay, is Thrawn going to essentially replace Moff Gideon as the series' main villain? And at this rate, it kind of seems like maybe not, or he might become like essentially the Thanos of this of like these series of shows, where he becomes like the big threat that all the heroes can't ignore, and they have to like have like a big old crossover event to beat him.
Yeah, I think he's going to be someone in the back, and we're probably going to get some more villains thrown in there with all these new series. Like I'm guessing Ahsoka's going to have some kind of pushback from someone. Don't know what that's going to look like. Someone, obviously she has to be able to fight them, and I don't know if Thrawn's going to be that guy. He's more of a tactician kind of guy. Obviously he can be physical if you've read the books, anything like that.
Yeah.
He knows how to handle himself, but I just want them to throw in someone else in there. We'll see what happens, but yeah. So Ahsoka is coming to us soon.
Yeah. Nah, that'll be good.
And we got another new show, Rangers of the New Republic, which essentially is Cara Dune's new series.
Yeah.
Another series that takes place during the time of the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kathleen Kennedy came out and said, this is what I was alluding to earlier, that Ahsoka, Mando, and the Rangers, the show, Rangers of the New Republic, will cross over in December of 2021 with a climactic story event.
Right, which I mean, this is kind of right. Which this is kind of like what like all the DC CW superhero shows would do. At least like once a year, they'd have like a big crossover event. Yeah, exactly. Like they had the Crisis on Infinite Earths last year, but yeah, I mean,
spoilers ahead, by the way, for Mandalorian season or episode 15 potentially.
Yeah, but freaking Jon Favreau, man, like he
did it.
He cannot just like touch something and not have it expand into like a interconnected universe here. He made the Mandalorian, and now you're getting like.
Well, let's not give Jon Favreau all the credit because Dave Filoni is going to be right there with him.
No, absolutely here, but it's like but you look at him like when he like started Iron Man here. He
That's
started
true.
like started the foundation and being the showrunner on the Mandalorian. I mean, not discrediting Dave Filoni or anything like that, but I mean, it's like he's just got a pattern here.
Yeah, I think the two of them are going to work really well with each other because Favreau is the Star Wars mind. It's not Favreau. It's Filoni. Filoni is the Star Wars guy. He was the Clone Wars guy. He was the Rebels guy. Resistance. He is George Lucas's protege, and so this hand in hand, I love it. I think this is probably going to be another hit show. Even though I like Cara Dune, but I don't think she's the coolest character in the world. I just think she's she's pretty fun.
I mean that being said, I mean I'm not super excited about this show just quite yet because I mean Cara is an interesting character, but I don't think she's fully like developed enough to have her own show. I mean, who knows? Maybe my opinion will change once as we get to the season
we might get way more character development in her own series versus the Mando. I mean,
sure.
Mandalorian is supposed to be about the Mandalorian,
right?
And so I think that this is cool because I'm guessing we're going to have multiple shows obviously going on at once, if not maybe different nights of the week. Maybe they're going to have, Rangers on Tuesday nights and Ahsoka's on Thursday and Mandalorian's Friday or something, or all of them come out Friday. I don't know. It's exciting to think about that. That's a possibility that we're going to have multiple shows coming out at the same time
with each other. Yeah.
Yeah. And my biggest question is, and this is spoilers for Mandalorian, so you could skip forward about 10 or 20 30 seconds. Will Mayfield show up in this series? I think he will.
Yeah, I mean they definitely left it open-ended after this last episode, so I think you're definitely going to see good old Bill Burr reprising his role every now and again. I don't think he's going to be like
he won't be like a character that's around all the time. No,
I don't think he's a mainstay. I think he's just going to be kind of more of like, oh, hey, this guy's back. Cool. Let's do some stuff with him.
Right.
Thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got yet another couple new series. So don't get sick of me saying that because it's going to keep happening for a while.
Yep.
We got confirmation. A Lando Disney Plus series is in development. No real details on it. We got a logo, and we know that Justin Simeon is attached to it. And
I'm really glad that's how you pronounce his name here.
It could be Seaman. We don't know. But I think it's Justin Simeon. And I think he said he did something about a movie called Dear White People or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I don't really know him very well. We'll see what he can do. My biggest hope for this series, and I hope Disney hears us right now, is that Donald Glover reprises his role, because I don't know if I could see anyone else in it.
Yeah. I mean, other than Billy D, but
I like him better than Billy D.
You got that Donald Glover crush, Childish Gambino here, but Yeah, because they didn't really reveal the details on like when this series was taking place, did they?
No, but I'm guessing it's going to be a young Lando.
Yeah,
there was rumors because you know how we're going to get the Maul series too, which they didn't talk about that at all, which I thought was interesting.
yeah.
So that's probably going to be around the same time, and I'm guessing it's kind of what they were planning a while ago with Solo. You know, they were going to have all their own spinoffs, basically. I'm
Right, yeah.
guessing this is going to be a continuation of Solo.
Yeah, no, it would be really dope if like you brought back essentially like all the storylines that didn't get to be panned out in like the sequel movies to Solo here. So yeah, so I mean, I could see them like just based on like their model that they're going with for like the Mandalorian's time period with like Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, and Mandalorian himself, obviously. Like I could see them like doing something
Yeah, I
after
mean,
like similar. Like they have Maul and they have Lando going on at the same time.
yeah,
And
and Donald Glover could fall right into that age group because that's where we see, you know, just be a little bit older than where we saw him in Return of
Solo.
the Jedi.
Oh yeah. I mean, it could, but I mean, I think it would just make more sense for him to, more sense for this show to, be a prequel show about young Lando around the
Yeah.
time of Solo, and you're just tying up the loose ends that were left behind in Solo, and introduce the Maul show that, for whatever reason, we haven't gotten officially confirmed. But
Yeah. Yep. Totally. And so yeah, Lando's gonna be cool. Another series that's gonna be coming out probably pretty soon. I'm guessing, probably in 2 years or so. And
yeah,
then
probably.
we got news from the first Disney Plus show that's gonna be Star Wars, but part of the High Republic kind of arc, which is called Acolyte.
Yeah.
And if for those of you who don't know, Star Wars, at least on the novel end of it and comics and stuff like that, they kind of announced a long time ago they're going to be doing this whole run of stuff called that's based in the High Republic. The High Republic is set 200 years or so before Episode 1, and so we're going to have, you know, probably a younger Yoda, and it's supposed to be like in the heyday of the Jedi, like the absolute peak. You know, they're more like I don't know, Texas Rangers than they are, you know, Jedi or generals in the Clone Wars. You know, so it's a
Right.
whole different vibe. But the name Acolyte to me makes me think of like Sith acolytes, and
Yeah.
I'm really wondering if we will see Darth Plagueis and the resurrection of the Sith happening kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, well, which would honestly, because I mean, this is the female driven show that
Yeah,
that we talked about, like I think earlier this year. I forget when it was here, but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I mean, if this is going to be a show essentially about like exploring the Sith and also like what they're about in terms of like, actually like in a live action way, not in a book or in a game or, some of the, what do they call it? Like the 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 legends, Star
yeah,
Wars Legends or
yeah.
whatever, like all the old stuff here, and making some of that new stuff canon. I'd be really interested in that, just because we still, as far as like movies and TV go, we don't have like a whole lot in terms of like the Sith and like how they operate or how they came to be in certain ways, and all that. So I would really be interested to see like, okay, like what brought upon the rule of two, or like what brought on like, Palpatine's rise and all that.
Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to get more information on Plagueis. And you know, it's still a little too early probably to bring Palpatine in, but depending on how, you know, where this goes, we could
Mm-hmm.
definitely get those stories in there. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty interested. I'm interested just because it's the first High Republic live action thing we're getting.
Yeah.
And we didn't hear, dude, we didn't hear anything about Ryan Johnson's movie. We didn't hear anything about the was it Benioff and Weiss?
Well, no, they're no
They were
longer.
gonna do one, but then who took it over? I can't remember.
I don't know. I mean, it was rumored to be Knights of the Old Republic here, but
But, like,
yeah,
basically any of those other movies, we got nothing on. Like, so oh, Taika Waititi's movie wasn't really mentioned, I don't think.
right.
So, like,
Well, I
maybe they
think,
threw a logo out. I can't remember. Although, oh yeah, they said there was gonna be a very creative and different approach to Star Wars. So,
yeah,
um,
I think with because I mean, other than like, one movie that we'll get to that, which is going to be more around the corner than I think those movies. Um, I think the reason why they weren't really talking about the movies is just because COVID. They wanted to show all their shareholders that, hey, just because movie theaters are kind of up in the air right now, we still have a way to like really generate revenue on this.
Pretty much
on our
everything's
end.
coming to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see more of that later with Disney still looking honestly at the premiere model, which I'm kind of disappointed in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, honestly, some of my favorite news we're going to talk about next, personally.
Okay.
And that being, we got word on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It is called Obi-Wan Kenobi, not just Kenobi. So we got that official, like a little graphic, basically. And Hayden Christensen will return as Vader. That's big.
Yeah. I mean, it's
half of me goes, why? Because I mean, he's Anakin.
He's Hayden Christensen. That's why. But
yeah.
I mean, well, I mean, he will create more Vader memes. I'm guessing, for one. I mean, I get why this is happening. I just don't think it's a good idea to bring back one of the dead weights you had that brought a franchise that as big as Star Wars down. When you're like one of the low points for Star Wars, I kind of feel like you do have to avoid it like the plague. But then again, I get where they're coming from, just because there's people who grew up with these movies when we were growing up with the original trilogy, and to them, this is Star Wars here.
Totally, yeah.
Like I've known people who who are like a generation younger than us that basically said that Revenge of the Sith is their favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I won't argue with them. I think that's one of my favorite. But yeah,
and it's like. And so I think there's become a nostalgia for the prequels. So I mean, when you're bringing one of the main guys from the prequels back, I think you're definitely scoring some points on a crowd here that may have been a little lapsed from, or disgruntled with the last two movies you put out. But yeah,
sure, yeah, and we also got to confirm that they're gonna battle by the end of it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that here. It's just I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's almost like I don't know. I feel like that's like retconning for the most part or something, but I don't know. You better make it a really good fight if you're gonna.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They got to live up to episode 3, which the fighting in that was awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I know it means a lot to Ewan that Hayden is back.
Yeah,
and so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah,
let's talk more about
real quick. I mean,
go ahead.
Has Hayden Christensen like actually improved as an actor at all? Because the last thing I saw him in was in that Nick Cage movie.
That was the last time I saw him too. So
that was like just went straight to DVD. So it's like if that's what we got,
yeah.
All right, but anyhow, So
another announcement we got was the first movie really that's going to be coming out. That's Star Wars is going to be coming out in 2023, and it's called Rogue Squadron. It's not going to be a Jedi, at least that we know of. There's not going to be any really Jedi or anything in it, but Patty Jenkins is set to direct, who was the director of the Wonder Woman movies. And I'm sure she'll do a great job with this. It's going to be basically a dogfighting, X-wing, fighting in the skies, because she grew up. Her dad was a fighter pilot, and so
it's Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah,
Star Wars here.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, do we know when this is going to be set? Like, which era of Star Wars is it going to be? Like during the original trilogy?
If it's Rogue Squadron, it's going to be in. It's going to be probably in the after Episode 4 sometime.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, no, Patty Jenkins knows how to direct an action movie, so I'm more than confident that she'll be able to actually provide the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's yeah, it's just something that I'll have to like actually see more of before I start getting excited for.
Yeah. We just got a couple more things in Star Wars. They're going to head into some more Disney news, but we got a Bad Batch trailer. Which
Yeah,
what did you think about that?
looks kind of interesting. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I'm not a Clone Wars guy. I mean, I like an episode of it here and there. Um, but this trailer, man, or this series, at least from what the trailer leads you to believe, is not lacking any action here.
No.
That was the whole trailer. It was just like action scene,
Blowing
action
up.
scene, action
Yeah.
scene. Yeah. I mean, the premise is cool. I mean, I will give them that. You know, you're following a group of like deprogrammed soldiers, and like kind of witnessing like what the rise of the empire looks like in their eyes here. So I don't know if I'll actually watch it per se. I mean, it would have to get like it would have to like have like some banger reviews probably if I was
Yeah.
gonna pop in and sit down and watch it. But yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't give a date on that. At least I didn't see one. I'm guessing this is happening soon because it sounds like they've had this ready to go since a while ago. This was probably on the back end of Clone Wars season 7, so I'm guessing they kind of knocked it all out together. We'll see what happens, but yeah, if anything, I'm really curious to see how the Bad Batch are going to kind of handle the Empire. Like, are they going to defect? Are they going to stay in around all the craziness? Like, what's going to happen? So.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to have them defect in order to make this like actually interesting and your main characters likable, or maybe like some will defect and some won't. Here, that would actually be pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Actually,
it could be. I hope Rambo defects, the guy with the
oh,
bandana.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah. Another quick bit, and this is the last Star Wars news we have, and then we're gonna head into Disney. But Star Wars Visions is going to be happening, and Visions is basically a project that's kind of more in the form of anime, and it's an anime take on the Star Wars universe, some stories from it, and it's gonna be 10 episodes from all different kinds of directors and visionaries.
okay,
That we're going to be seeing, and this is coming in 2021 as well. I can see this being a summer thing. I can see this being a late summer, early fall thing. We'll see what happens. Maybe even a spring thing. We'll see.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean we've had like kind of this treatment before where you'll get like these standalone anime episodes from like different anime artists and creators. Like I think they did that with like the Matrix, like the Animatrix
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
whatever. And then Batman, Gotham Knight, like way back like almost 10 years ago or something. They had like 6 anime artists like do their own take on Batman essentially and like storyline wise and stuff. So I think yeah, this is from what it sounds like, this is going to be kind of the same thing. So could be interesting. We'll see. I mean, it's kind of
yeah,
like you're getting a little bit of a grab bag here essentially with maybe things that you might like and things you might not like.
yeah. Next up, we got some Disney news. And so, Doran, you can stop me whenever you want to talk about something, but I'm going to kind of go through them kind of quick because there wasn't a lot that
Sure.
they went into detail on. But I mean, I think it's noteworthy enough and people will be interested in it. So, real
Yeah.
quick, Indiana Jones 5 is coming out. It's releasing in 2022 with Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
The
which
dude's
I mean
100 years old, but
yeah, I mean close to it. I think he's like
it's going to be 80.
22 years off, I think somewhere around there, but
Yeah.
uh but yeah, I mean nothing we really knew before here really.
No, yeah. And then Ray and the Last Dragon, it got like another trailer, but it also got a release date. It's going to be releasing on March 5th, and it
Yeah.
will premiere on Disney Plus, the Premiere Access, which is where you have to pay the $30.
Oh, you gotta
And
pay you gotta
yeah,
pay $30 for that?
that's what Mulan was. It was the Premiere Access on
Mm,
March 5th, as well as theaters. Which I'm guessing 3 to 4 months later it'll be free on Disney Plus, but
yeah.
I just really don't like what they're doing with that. I could
Well,
see, five.
especially especially with HBO like just saying,
Yeah,
"Yeah, come on over. The water's fine," you know?
right. I can see them modifying this in the future, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be simultaneously releasing on Disney Plus platform as well as in theaters. So
Yeah.
you don't have to go anywhere for that.
I mean, yeah, I mean this movie, I mean honestly, I have really no interest in it. The trailer like did not sell me on anything. It just kind of looks, I don't know, bland and generic. to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, this is like, yeah, $30 for like one movie that you don't even get to keep, essentially. Like, and that's gonna be free in a month. You know, I mean, I just watched Mulan like for the first time, and yeah, I mean that movie's not worth $30. I'll tell you that much.
No, I think that movie's sick though.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, you're wrong, but it's okay. So we got Beauty and the Beast up next. It's gonna be a prequel Disney Plus series, which I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, why is it Beauty and the Beast before Beauty and the Beast happens? Because they just eat each other.
It's just Belle just reading books, you know. That's all it is, and then the Beast just being all sad in his castle, and that's all it is here. I mean, is this going to be like live action? Is this going to be with like Hermione and all that, or
it's not going to be with Hermione? But I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of word on it.
Okay.
And then we got a Pinocchio series, which I think will be live action, and it's going to star Tom Hanks. It was going to be a movie that came out, I think, to theaters, but it's only going to be on Disney Plus now.
Please tell me Tom Hanks isn't playing Pinocchio. I mean, I
can neither
get it
nor deny.
I get it's typecasting. See, now he's played like
a toy
people before here, but please don't make like a CGI like abomination Tom Hanks. I mean, I could see him like maybe playing Geppetto or something like that. Or
I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing Geppetto, not Pinocchio.
Like
but
yeah, please don't let that happen.
Yeah.
Please.
Probably the most interesting news we got out of the Disney part of this is that there's going to be a movie called Lightyear, starring Chris Evans. Yeah. And it's the story about the person that the Buzz Lightyear toy is based on. And I don't really know what that means, but I'm guessing there's some space explorer guy around in the Toy Story universe. And it's about that guy, and they make a toy out of him, which is who Tim Allen plays. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
So, is this an animated or is this live action?
I have no idea.
Okay, I mean, from like the still image that I keep seeing with,
I think it's animated.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing just based on that still image here. But yeah, I mean, it's like if that, because I thought this was just going to be like kind of like that. You remember that Buzz Lightyear cartoon that came out?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That like actually like, you know, went into like the lore of like the Buzz Lightsaber.
Yeah, totally. And you got more of the people like that are like him, like the what is it, Starfleet or Star Command? I don't know.
Yeah, Star Command. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
like,
you got more of those guys. Same suit.
Yeah, I kind of thought like, okay, maybe this is like that, maybe or something like that, or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know
either. But yeah, it seems interesting. Chris Evans is attached, so you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But and then Disney briefly talked about a couple things. One being the Mighty Ducks series. Obviously, that's still happening. Yeah. They're going to be rebooting a couple things, being Percy Jackson, which I thought was interesting because we only got 2 of those movies.
Yeah, I think like 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm definitely 2. I know. I remember there
anyway, so I'm guessing they're just going to keep going with that. A Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers reboot, and then a Hocus Pocus sequel. So those are just a couple things from Disney. Now we get to talk about some cool stuff. Not to say any of that wasn't, but this is probably my most exciting news. We got some trailer review of Cobra Kai Season 3. We finally got some insight into where we're going in Season 3, which literally drops in like, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks?
A month, yeah.
Yeah. Like, less than a month, because I think it's the first week of January or something like that. So,
somewhere around there, yeah, maybe.
Is it January 3rd? For some reason,
no, it's
or 7th. Oh, it's the 8th. Okay, yeah. So we're under a month, and but yeah, dude, we got to see so much stuff in this trailer. They gave us a lot. I was surprised.
It was a big sizzle reel here. You know, I mean, it didn't like go into like super detail on like a ton of things, but the main things that stuck out to me was that like, we're not waiting around for Cobra Kai Season 4 for the Johnny and Danny team up. We're getting it.
No, they mentioned it in the trailer, like, let's do this together. And then they're like, it's another buddy cop movie. And they even make a joke. It's like, what are you, Turner and Hooch or something like that?
Or Tango and Cash.
Oh, Tango and Cash. Yeah. Turner and Hooch, a whole different movie. That's with Tom Hanks and a dog. But yeah, tell you Tango and Cash. And they're like, he's like, no, they were narcotics cops, and he's like, "You're not even cops. Like, what are you doing?"
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, Okinawa's back. So
which brings in Chosen and Kumiko into the fold, which we got to see both of them in the trailer. Which I was like, okay, they're just giving this all to us. They're not even hiding this.
No, and then so it's I'm super pumped for for this next season here. I mean, the trailer definitely gets you hyped, is what I will say. I mean, it's interesting because the bully from season 1, like the Asian bully.
Oh yeah,
he's in Cobra Kai now.
I know, and Hawk did not like that.
Oh no, of course not. But yeah, and real quick tangent. Me and Tim Seabrook, we were talking about how if Cobra Kai was to tackle like COVID-19, Johnny would
He wouldn't be wearing a mask.
He would be an anti-masker, and how he would defeat Kreese is he would just cough on him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, you definitely see that he's still himself. He's not politically correct, which I love.
Yeah.
You definitely see it's a father-son relationship between him and Miguel. Miguel's obviously okay. I mean, for the most part, he's training to get his legs back working and all that. So
yeah, he's going through physical therapy, physical rehab.
Yeah,
so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, but still no Allie. We didn't get an Allie drop in this trailer, so she might be the big reveal. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that, but
I think that's definitely going to be like.
But we got it teased at the end of season 2. In my opinion, they should have shown us Allie and not shown us Chosen or Kumiko.
Well, I mean, Allie is like one. I mean, she is like, because here's the thing. I mean, if you didn't tell me like that Chosen and Kumiko were coming back in Cobra Kai season 3, I would have never recognized who they were, what they were about. But I mean, Allie is like kind of a big piece to the whole like Karate Kid Cobra Kai puzzle, because that's how the whole thing got started, was him and Danny and Johnny fighting over Allie essentially.
Yeah, true.
And it spiraled all out to here. So I mean, I think they're just kind of saving that for like for some point in like in their like, as they don't want to give it away. They want to play that card close to the chest.
Right. So yeah, in the trailer, you guys should go watch it, but it was really cool. There's a lot of good action scenes, and so I'm guessing obviously it's gonna be filled with that. We got some flashbacks, like we got the bully, which how does that even work? Like, what is he wanting to learn to fight so he can beat up Hawk again, like, or whoever? Like, I don't get it.
I mean, his pride definitely had to get taken down a couple of notches after Miguel.
But did we see him at all in season 2?
No, we didn't. Like after Miguel beat him up, I think you see him briefly after that in season 1, where he doesn't even want to like. He's like going to that party and like Miguel's there and he's like, yeah, I'm not even going to tangle with that here. I'm out here. And so now that Miguel's no longer at that school, maybe he's like, okay, yeah, I'll pop in and see what this is about, because I kind of need to stop getting my butt kicked or something like that.
Right. All right. Well, let's talk about some more news. Monster Hunter is opening a week early now.
Yeah. So my guess is the studio that put out this movie, they realized that nobody was going to venture out in a COVID Christmas for this movie.
Yeah.
So they pushed it up a week.
Yeah, I mean, cool, I guess. I mean, cool. I'll get it a week early. I'm not complaining. I might rent it. I don't know. If it's going to be more than $10, probably not.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. We got some big news, especially for you, Dorian. The Gamer Awards?
The Game Awards. Yeah, they had their show, and Disney had their shareholders meeting pretty much
same
concurrently.
Day. Yeah,
not just the same day, same time. Like all this news was like happening. Like
it was crazy. It was
one
crazy.
after the other. Yeah.
So new Smash Bros. Character reveal. Who was it?
It was Mother freaking Sephiroth.
Yeah, Sephiroth
Final
is here.
Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
I would have never. I was not predicting that.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, announced at the Game Awards coming out this month.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like maybe like like, I don't know, say, yeah, Merry Christmas. It's coming out December 25th or something like that here. But here's the thing. So when I learned about this announcement, I was still at work. So I just was perusing my phone. I didn't think the Game Awards was on like while I was still at work. I thought it was going to be, later, like at 6 or 7 or something like that when they
Right.
would start doing their show. They apparently not. And and I just saw the news article that, oh yeah, Sephiroth is coming to Smash. I'm like, wait, what? I really wish like I could have just experienced like that trailer
Yeah.
genuinely. I would have lost
Yeah,
my
I didn't see it genuinely either. I didn't see any of this news genuinely. I wish I would have known about the shareholders meeting. I think that would have been a lot better for me personally. I just saw all these crazy news articles starting to pop up, and I was like, "What is going on?" And same
Yeah,
with
no
the
kidding.
Smash Bros. Reveal. It got spoiled for me. I was like, "Dang, okay, that's cool."
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I mean, I just based on like what I've seen on him, like I'm really excited to play him just because I mean, I
how do you think
typically
he's gonna play? Like, I know they showed stuff, but
well, I mean, I think ultimately he's no pun intended, but I think he's going to be he is going to be a sword character, but he's going to have like the range. He's going to have like
that's what it looked like to me too.
a decent amount of range so that you can essentially like stiff arm like people who can't like, that need to get in and close essentially. So
Right.
I think that's mostly how he's going to play. It seems like he also has kind of a limit gauge, kind of like Cloud does, possibly, where you charge up and you do like souped up versions of your moves.
Mhm.
Um, it also seems like I don't know if it's part of like his limit break, but I mean he does sprout his one wing at a certain point, like it
That's true.
has a different phase. So there's definitely got to be some stuff to that here. I mean, I'm sure we'll get like a full video breakdown with Sakurai showing us how he plays and all that stuff here. So, but yeah, I tend to gravitate more towards sword characters in Smash, and so I mean,
You do?
yeah, but
Roy's your
so
boy.
Roy's my boy, and I like Ike, but
Yep.
yeah, so I think I can definitely get behind his kid. It seems like something that I would definitely enjoy playing. But yeah, I mean, I am honestly surprised that they did this and not try to go with like a franchise that hasn't been represented in Smash here. Like
Yeah, no, that's what my biggest surprise was too, is that they didn't do someone fresh.
yeah, I mean, granted, I mean there's not like a ton of like candidates that I would really, really, really want for to pop up in Smash. And honestly, I
Sure.
think out of all the DLC characters that have been announced so far, this is the one that actually gets me the most excited, just because I actually know know more about Sephiroth, and I actually think he is a pretty good addition and for the roster. So yeah, no, I'm excited.
We got some more news on video games and new characters. Master Chief is now in Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean we talked about it last week. Mando and Kratos showed up, and we heard the rumor about Master Chief. Bring us Samus. I mean, it ain't no party in video games if Nintendo ain't there.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see what happens, you know?
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
to, right? At this point.
I mean, you would think that would be like the logical next step, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I mean, it's I kind of feel like this whole like, theme of like hunters like for this season of Fortnite, it's been applied a little loosely when you got people like Kratos and Master Chief coming in, because I mean, Kratos isn't a hunter, he's the god of war here.
Right.
And then Master Chief isn't like really a hunter per se, he's a soldier. So it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But
He hunts the Covenant, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to like speak in like broad terms, yeah. But anyhow,
And then you have in the notes, Ghosts and Goblins gets a resurrection.
Yeah, so basically, for anybody who is too young and too stupid to not know what I'm talking about,
Well,
nah, I'm just kidding. Basically, back in the NES, Super Nintendo days, there was a game called Ghosts and Goblins, and then Super Ghouls and Ghosts. And I played a bunch of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Like, loved it. It was game super hard, but I loved it. And heck, even to this day, like I still like pop in and play it like on my my NES or Super Nintendo Classic or the Switch's library, Super Nintendo library. So I never thought we would be getting a new game in the series, but here we are. It's going to be coming out February 25th, 2021. And
yeah.
it looks like it's keeping with the tradition. It's going to be flipping hard, and that's just the way I like it. And so
Yes,
I'm definitely, okay, but definitely going to be popping. Did you not realize?
Oh no, I did. I just couldn't help myself.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. You set yourself up.
I know I did. I know,
Yeah.
but
So yeah, coming Switch February 25th, 2021.
Yep, definitely gonna be popping on it. I mean, and it's looking. I don't know. I was kind of thinking about this earlier today. This upcoming year, I should say, it is looking like a better year, at least for me in gaming, just because this game's coming out.
Digimon Survive still coming out.
Yeah,
it's got to.
Right, but The World Ends With You, Neo, The World Ends With You is coming out.
Yep.
Breath of the Wild probably likely to come out, and possibly God of War, Ragnarok.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they kind of said. I don't believe them, but I can be hopeful.
Yeah, it's a big year for a lot of stuff.
So I mean, yeah, it is honestly looking to shape up to be really a fantastic year for gaming, like just for me personally. So I'm into it.
Sweet. Well, before we head into a roundtable review, what was your kind of favorite or most shocking news that broke this week? What would you say?
Gosh, I mean, I don't know, because I mean, the Ahsoka series I wasn't super surprised by. I mean, it's just nice to see that is actually taking substance and it's coming sooner rather than later. Man, I might have to give it to Sephiroth in all honesty, just because, predicting who the next Smash character is going to be is like, there's literally thousands of like blogs and, subreddits and everything trying to figure everything out here. And so it's like, it's becoming like, it's essentially like on the level of like after episode 7 came out, people speculating who is Snoke, who is Rey's parents type of level here. So yeah, I mean, so when we actually get like a Smash character that, honestly delivers, especially considering how like the last couple of characters, in my opinion, we've kind of been kind of on the weak side for like the hype, with like you had Byleth, then you had Min Min after that, and then you had Steve, which I know some people were excited about Steve, but I was kind of like meh. But like this is like one that I think everybody, at least from what I've seen, like there's not much complaining on this one here. So I'm just excited that the hype is back in Smash, essentially.
For sure. Yeah, I'd say for me, honestly, nothing was like a big surprise. I mean, obviously, all the different series that got announced for Star Wars was a huge thing for me.
Sure.
I was excited about Ahsoka. I like that it's happening sooner than we think. But I honestly think the Cobra Kai Season 3 trailer was the thing that brought me the most excitement out of all these things.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it was because it gave us stuff. Like everything else is like a teaser or a logo. What?
It's just an idea for
yeah, exactly. So if they would have came out, the one thing we did forget is that they gave an Andor sneak peek for the Cassian Andor show.
That's right, yeah, and also
I forgot about that, but yeah, that looked pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, I forgot they also talked about like Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp, like
3,
they gave it an official title and stuff like that, which I mean, okay, cool. But yeah, I mean,
anyway, yeah, I think Ahsoka is probably my favorite, but I also really like for whatever reason the Acolyte thing's really cool, the High Republic. But honestly, yeah, Cobra Kai season 3 trailer was what got me the most excited.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, you're actually getting something with more substance to it. Yeah, I mean, and before we move on, people, ton of information that came out of this this week. I mean, this made up for all the slow weeks we had throughout the entire year just in this one week.
Yeah. And we probably missed some stuff.
We definitely missed some stuff here. So if you're really interested in getting deep in the nitty-gritty and getting maybe some of the lesser known things that we didn't cover or anything like that, go on the IGN or Screen Rant, wherever.
Comicbook.com.
Get your fix.
It's out there, so check it out. Yeah, so let's head into our roundtable review. Dorian, take it away.
All right, so I mean, shocker of shockers, we are talking about Mandalorian Chapter 15, The Believer. So
spoilers ahead.
We're either pause the podcast or just don't care and don't whine. So, all right.
Yeah.
So we are picking up pretty much directly after the last episode ended, where basically Mando is going to get Bill Burr's character, which what's his first name?
It's called Mayfield.
Okay, yeah, Mayfield, which weird name for a Star Wars character.
I know, it sounds very American.
I kind of feel like maybe that was Bill Burr's thing. Maybe that's it's named after one of his favorite baseball players or something like that, because he's a sports guy. So I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something a little bit deeper to that. But yeah, so you start with him basically doing his prison labor, where he's in a scrapyard for TIE fighters and stuff like that. So, and Kara recruits him and basically loads him up onto the Slave One.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they go out. He explains to him that essentially what you need to do is, in order to track Moff Gideon's ship, is you need to access an Imperial terminal.
Yep.
And then once you do that, you can go, get the data that you need to go do what you need to do to get Grogu back. So sounds pretty basic. Problem is they have to infiltrate essentially a mining facility that the Empire controls, and it's kind of a secret on a remote planet. It seems like they essentially took over this planet, or at least an area of it, and they've enslaved some of the village people and stuff. So
yeah, they're mining radonium, which is a highly explosive material.
Right. And so basically, long story short, you have Cara Dune. You got, what's the sniper chick's name? Do you remember?
Is it Varric?
No, I don't think it is. But anyhow, so we get
or Fennec. Is it Fennec? I want to say the ick part sounds right to me, but I don't know.
I don't know, but basically, him, Boba Fett, Bill Burr, Cara Dune, and Sniper Chick, they all go, and they're all going to this facility. Basically, you have Boba Fett driving the getaway car. Is it Fennec?
Yeah, okay. Fennec Shand.
Okay, Fennec Shand. Okay, so you got Fennec Shand and Cara Dune. They're basically sniper support on the base, so that when they make their escape, you have Boba Fett driving the getaway car, and then you have Mando and Mayfield basically infiltrating. So basically, they jump on essentially one of these convoy trucks that has the Radonian in it, and they take out the guards, put on their uniforms, and Mando is still covering his face the whole time, just because that's his creed, that no living thing can look at his face. So, and while they're driving there, him and Mayfield are kind of having this conversation, or more Mayfield's having a conversation with Mando, because Mando's not much for talking. Basically talking about how, kind of like what he did when he was in the Empire, and then also how basically that, everybody has a set of rules until, your back is against the wall here, or you're desperate enough to, like,
which is foreshadowing.
Yeah, no, definitely foreshadowing. So long story short, they get attacked. You get this cool action scene where Mando gets to get his bow staff skills on, and takes out some pirates that are trying to raid the Redonian, and then, or no, sorry, blow it up. Essentially, here they want to blow up the convoy trucks. They make it back to the main facility, and they get to the terminal. Mayfield uh, recognizes he recognizes like a old officer that he used to work under, so he's worried that he might recognize him. So basically, Mando has to go basically get the data from the terminal. The problem is it requires a facial scan.
Yeah.
And so he actually does take off his helmet and gets his face scanned, and has has it off for like probably a good 5 minutes or so. Like,
quite a
Mayfield
while.
sees his face, like, all the Imperials see his face. So yeah, basically so that officer that Mayfield was worried about, he ends up pulling Mando and Mayfield aside for essentially a drink / conversation and all that. And it's kind of like that scene reminded me of that one part in Inglourious Basterds, like when they're like where they're like underneath, like they're in that underground bar, and there's like, they're pretending to be Nazis, and there's that one Nazi commander that just will not leave the table, or will not let them leave, basically, because he's like too busy socializing and all that.
They hold up the wrong number 3 or whatever it is.
Right, exactly. So long story short,
Joe Chill's talking to him.
Yeah. And
same actor.
Yeah. And so basically, long story short, Mayfield kind of confronts, like, no, I mean, not kind of, but he definitely does confront his former superior, basically saying, like, you sent, like, me and my friends and, like, everybody that they knew to their death. And, it was like, who was that good for here? And
right.
Long story short,
you're kind of seeing him struggle with his past, because he was Imperial, and this episode is called The Believer. So you kind of seeing him getting a better glimpse of what the Empire actually looks like.
Yeah, exactly. So long story short, he ends up shooting his old commander. They have to make a break for it. They shoot their way out. They get out. They got the data, and then at the end of it, at least, like, in terms of, like, what goes on that planet, they let Mayfield go. They said, you know what?
Yeah.
Oh, well, one thing I forgot to mention, Mayfield actually does
blow up the
facility, like, on his own. He kind of, like, went out of his way to do that here. So they let him go, and he's free to do what he wants, essentially, now. So and then it ends with Mando sending a message to Gideon's ship, basically saying, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah, no, definitely a solid episode. I mean, like I see in the show notes, like, some of the things that you're saying, like, Boba's new coat of paint. Yeah, I definitely think it's a good look for him, for sure.
Yeah. So basically, he took his rusty armor and spiffed it up, and I think it looks great. We get some really cool shots of the Slave One. We get some inner shots where there's, like, they're all, like, kind of talking in there. You can see, like, the ship rotating around it. So it's almost like it's on this, like, gyro ball on the inside, where they're always stabilized, but the ship's the one that's moving. And then I think this episode just has great character progression. Like, I've seen people calling it a filler episode, this, that, and the other thing, but you get a lot of good character progression with Mando and Mayfield.
No, you absolutely do here. I mean, especially with like Mando taking his mask off in order to,
to get the information to save Grogu. Yeah,
right, exactly. So I mean,
I think by the end of the season, we'll get a Mando, or at least by season 3, who maybe isn't wearing his helmet very much. I don't know,
or at least like outside of battle here, like
right.
So, and I think you can. I think you're definitely going to get that moment where he takes off his helmet for Grogu here. So
totally.
But yeah, I mean right now, like this episode, this was the calm before the storm. Like next week, hopefully it's firing off on all cylinders. I have no reason to expect anything less at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I was really surprised this wasn't more of a setup for the finale, or at least part 1 of the finale.
Right, kind of like how it was last season.
Right, which makes me think that this season's going to end on just a huge unresolved cliffhanger.
It very well could at this rate, I mean, yeah, we will see, man. We will see.
Yeah, and I think the scene where Mayfield's talking with his former boss, superior, the officer guy, I just think it's brilliant. Like, I think seeing him, work. You see him. Bill Burr just did an incredible job in this episode. Like, honestly, I think he deserves like an Emmy or something, because seeing him like work through the pain, like you see it on his face. Like, he just does a great job of humanizing his character, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, definitely added more depth to his character than it did in like season 1 for sure. So
yeah, and sniper shot at the end. He snipes out the Redonium on one of the big cargo truck things
while flying away.
Yeah, no big deal. He just took it, blew one shot, and then blew up the whole facility. So
yeah,
I love the line that it ended with, the epic quote from Mando saying the same thing Gideon said to him in episode 7 of last season. And Gideon looked scared for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the one thing where I'm kind of like, okay. I mean, I get like the reason why they included that, like in terms of like Mando contacting Gideon, because I mean, it's kind of cool to tell the bad guy, like, you can run, you can hide, you can pray, but I'm going to cut you down essentially here.
Yeah. No, super cool line. Oh, the other thing I was going to talk about, which I forgot to write down, but it was kind of a prequel callback, was when but on the Slave 1, they released a seismic charge to blow up those.
Oh yeah,
totally gave me episode 2 vibes.
Yeah, no,
totally brought me back to that moment where
when they're in the asteroid.
Yeah, when Obi-Wan's following him. Yeah, super. It was cool. It was super cool.
It was cool. Yeah,
but yeah. If I had to rate this, I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10, maybe. Like, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's roughly where I am. I mean, the one thing that I'm just kind of like a little iffy on is like, Mando contacting Gideon. It's like you kind of taking away the element of surprise on that one here, which I mean, I kind of feel like you guys might need, but
yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, so
obviously the man's got a plan, so we'll see it next week in the finale.
I mean, expect a lot of whistling birds to be fired off on.
Which, how does he keep getting those? Because isn't that like made out of Beskar? Aren't they?
It is. Yeah, it's made out of Beskar, and so it's like even the forger lady, when she gave that to him, she said like use these sparingly. It's like I've seen him like use it at least like I don't know 5 times or something maybe.
I think he's used it 2 or 3 times this season. Yeah. He used it in like the first episode.
Well, yeah, the first episode he got him. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then this current the Boba Fett episode. So at least 2. But yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, it was a long episode, guys. Thanks for listening the whole way through. We greatly appreciate it. Hit us up on all our social medias. Give this a like, leave a review, all those good things. Have an awesome week, and remember, everyone's a nerd about something.